Okay, injuries. Injuries. How much can you train while you're healing? And is it a wise idea? What should you do? The reason I'm into this right now is I got an email from a young gorilla brother named Matthew. He's 21 years old. He's a power lifter. From his picture, I can see he's a big guy. He looks powerful. He was getting ready to compete, and he was hoping he was going to have better than 2,000 pound total. So he's all gung-ho, and then he gets sidetracked now because he's had a complete pec tear. Complete detachment. Now, I'm taking for granted that he's had this thing repaired. He doesn't specifically say that, but I'm taking for granted that he's had it repaired, and that from there, what he's asking is, if I have any ideas or suggestions or advice as to what he can or should do right now, because it's driving him crazy. He can't really train. He can't bench, of course. He can't squat because he can't rotate his shoulder back like that with his pec healing on the mend. And they want him to they just want him to take it easy. They don't want him to strain at all. And he's he's nervous and apprehensive. He doesn't want to lose a whole bunch of strength. He knows he's going to lose some. He's going to lose some size. He's going to lose some strength. But he doesn't want to lose as much strength. So what the hell can he do? Well, here's the first problem, brother Matthew, that I gotta point out is you also just briefly mentioned that you've trained with injuries before or around injuries, and you have a disc-related injury that you're able to train around. Here's the problem, brother. You're only 21. This is a problem. This is a problem. And it's the pot calling the kettle black, because I've had lots of injuries, and I've trained as much as I could through and around them in any way possible at times when I was younger, for sure and certain. But when you're younger, you don't understand that you're not bulletproof, and that you're not going to live forever, and that you will live just long enough to pay for the foolish things or that you might have done while you were injured, instead of just laying back and letting it heal completely. You know, the abuse that you're going to put yourself through as a young man is going to carry into old age, and most of us are going to find that we're going to live long enough, just long enough, that we're going to have to pay for that later. So, and I know from your perspective, it looks like that time's never going to get here, so you're not worried about it. But I'm going to tell you another trick, turn of the fucking coin, as it were, that's not really great and enjoyable, but it's real. And ask any older person can tell you that it's kind of true. It seems as though time speeds up as you age. And I think it really does, because, you know, subjectively, I believe it does. Because you're degrading at a more rapid rate. You know, it's like an atomic clock thing. And time is shorter. Time is shorter. I mean, I can remember when I was young how slowly time passed. Even when I was busy and having a ball, you know, just from one school year to the next school year, that summer in between, which is only a few months, right? It seemed like a whole lifetime. Your whole life could change in that time period. You were living so much. And you know, now, that's not much time at all. Years fly by. Years fly by. So one day you're going to get to that point too. Time's going to fly by. You're going to get there and find yourself old. And you don't want to be hobbling around on a cane and all this stuff, or nursing all kind of painful injuries. Now, I've been pretty fortunate. I've had a lot of injuries, but Lord knows how. But somehow I've come through most of them, and I don't have any echoes of that in my life that I have to work around, except for a little bit. But I'm not in pain. I don't have any pain. I don't have any joint pain. I don't have any back pain. I don't have any. And I've got my back. I've beaten my back all up. I've had a lot of back injuries. I will say this: my back is so messed up that, I mean, factually, mechanically, that if I quit lifting and I quit training my back and let all that muscle atrophy, I'll be in bad shape. I won't even probably be able to stand up straight. I'll be walking around on a cane probably. I quit training once for 3 whole years, and this was not that far back. It's going to seem like a long time to a young buck. It's 21, but I think that was from like 2009 or 2008, 8 or 9, till about 11, I guess. 8, 9, 10, to about 2011. I didn't train, and I atrophied, and I was just going to be a regular older guy as I was aging. And here's what happened at the end of the 3 years. I had dropped a lot of size, and I still looked very athletic, but I didn't look anything like anybody that had been a mass monster. I still looked very athletic, but when I would get up out of bed in the morning, I had a hell of a time getting out of bed. I had a hell of a time sitting up. I had a hard time bending over and putting my shoes on or anything because my back was bothering me so bad. Sometimes it even bothered me walking around the block, just walking my dog. This is back when I lived in suburbia and shit. But I realized that I didn't want that. So I had to return to training. I had no choice. I couldn't even quit at that point. And it was very, very hard to get it back, because now the injuries are very real. The after effects of what I put myself through are very real. And I have to train around that and to get through it, to develop that muscle again enough to take the strain off of the skeletal structure. Because your back is so encapsulated with muscle, you can do that. Knees are very similar. You can get away with a whole lot, if you have the musculature. So I'm at that position. I could never just completely let it all go, or I'd be pretty banged up and pretty, without having a lot of surgeries, I'd be bad. But with the muscle, I don't even know it's there. I don't feel it. I can deadlift, I can squat, I can run, I can jump, I can do whatever, and I'm very flexible, and you would never know it. You would never know it, So it's pretty much the medicine that I have to keep taking is that I have to keep working out. I've had several shoulder injuries, both shoulders, back and forth, and then I had that bad slap tear, and I've never come back from that yet. I had that slap tear, and it was so bad that, I don't even want to tell you how much I could bench in my day when I did more of like a power bodybuilding type of thing. I was never a dedicated powerlifter, but I enjoyed powerlifting, and I enjoyed lifting with powerlifters more most of the time than training with bodybuilders. When I was in my height and my heyday, and I had a big bench. I always felt it was my shittiest lift, but comparing to the guys I was lifting with, I'm lifting with guys that are world record holders that are constantly chasing their own records to bust them, and they succeeded multiple times, several of them. So compared to those guys, yeah, I had a shit bench for my body weight, pound for pound. They were killing me. But I had a hell of a bench as far as bodybuilders go. Hell of a bench. Over 5 raw. Easily. Well over. Now today, what do you think I bench? It's not from age. It's from what I've done to my shoulders, particularly this left one, the one that had the slap tear down. I can't bench shit. It's still gradually improving. I'm still improving. Coming back. And I still haven't come 100% back. I'm not 90%. I'm not 80% back. I've just trained a different way, that I can get away with not being able to push that weight that I was pushing before with that shoulder. I don't like it, but my recklessness and everything, carelessness, it did what it did. So, long story short, all I'm saying, I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm saying give it some thought. Take it a little easier. Be a little careful. Pay attention to rehabbing injuries and healing, and affording your body the time it takes, the nutrition it needs, and whatever else you can do. Ice it, heat it, whatever is prescribed by your doctor, whatever the case may be, whatever applies. There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can use balms and salves and liniments and things before you lift as a preventive type of thing. You can do, there's so many different things. You can get some kind of therapeutic. You can get massage. You can get, if you're into you believe in chiropractors and the benefit there, you might want to look at that. Just things you've got to feel out and find out what's valuable, what becomes valuable to you to take care of that body. Okay, just like you would take care of your car. If you're not, you're never getting another car. That car's got to last forever. What car lasts forever, right? But if it had to, you're going to start to really pay attention to the maintenance, aren't you? So pay attention to it, because you're going to get there. You're going to get older. All these times are going to pass. I'm not saying don't enjoy them. Live it to its fullest. Enjoy it. Be a legend if you can. Be a superstar, whatever. Live your life, man. Have a good time. Feel good about it. But don't sacrifice the quality of your life later just for the short time now. That's all I'm saying. With this pec injury, man, to have had a disc injury and now you got a complete tear, you're only 21. Dude, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. I don't know if because maybe you don't have the time in yet, And so the musculature, the strength is actually overwhelming the connective tissue. I don't know. Maybe you don't train for connective tissue strength. I don't know. But whatever it is, you know, is your diet appropriate? I mean, are you missing out on some micronutrients and shit somewhere? You're not paying any mind to this kind of stuff right now. You know, things that you're going to need. You need to protect that connective tissue. You need to strengthen that connective tissue. Don't let that, you know, balls to the wall muscular strength that you're able to develop for whatever reason so quickly overwhelm it to the point you start tearing shit off the bone like you're doing. You know, plus this back thing, that can be debilitating potentially. You know, you're going to have to be careful. And my other advice is, you know, make sure you have good insurance and make sure you take the time to get fully repaired. If a repair exists, get it done. Get it done. You know, one of the reasons I believe that Jeff McVicker was able to continue to lift as he got older, to continue to lift ridiculous amounts of weight, is because he did take the time to get repairs made. I mean, he's had triceps done. He's had, I don't know if he's had shoulders done, or I know he's had knees done. I know he's had back repairs. You know, he's just gotten things fixed. He broke a lot of shit, but he fixed it. He broke a lot of records too. But he got fixed. He knew the value in taking care of his body and maintaining it. And they're not just beating it, but restoring it, you know. So enough of that. Now, as far as what can you do right now? You know, now some of the advice I'm going to give you might run contrary to that. So I'm going to be a little bit careful about what I suggest. With a pec tear like that, man, I wouldn't take any chances. Let that joker heal. Let it heal. What could you do, even if you just work legs, like leg presses, leg extensions, leg curls, or any of these kind of things? You're still going to be straining because you're not going to be able to let it go. You're not going to go in there and just do some light foo-foo, you know, stuff just to keep the blood flowing and to keep some musculature going. You're not. You're going to, because you're a power lifter and you have that drive, you're going to want to get carried away and you're going to push too much weight. Let that pec heal. Don't divert all that blood away from the upper body. Keep that blood, let your body just naturally do what it's going to do, you know, and get that thing healed. Now maybe you could use some kind of vasodilating type of stuff, you know, beets, yeah, I don't know, you know, the beetroot juice, right? I just ate 2 beets today. It's part of my new more heart-friendly type of pre-workout thing or morning ritual. I've added beets. And the amount of energy I got out of that was unbelievable. It definitely works. The vasodilating effect on it is awesome. So I like beets. I don't know, just anything. You just want to get that blood, if you're eating correctly, that blood should have all the nutrients and things in it that you're going to need to restore yourself. So you want to make sure that blood's flowing, everything's good. Watch your cholesterol. Watch that cholesterol. So get it start from a young age. You don't know if you're predisposed, you're going to build a lot of plaque easily or not. You don't know. And you'll pay for that one day. Believe me, this pump in here, man, if that pump goes, that's it. End of story. When that pump's gone, there's no more energy. There's no more, you know, blood flow. The muscles can't get what they need. They can't get the waste byproducts removed fast. They can't get enough oxygen to them to power them. That heart is everything. Even if it's just compromised a bit, it's going to vastly affect and impact the quality of your life, let alone your training. So all these things, man, pay attention to your health. Not saying don't, I'm not trying to tell you be paranoid about anything, which I don't think you will ever get to that stage, because clearly you're going pretty hard to have done yourself this damage already, and to be pushing the weight you're pushing, and to made the progress you've made at only 21, that's awesome progress. But just consider the cost, balance the cost out. Now here's what I'm going to say. You suggested that maybe you might cut a little bit right now. You might lean down a little bit. I wouldn't put myself under any kind of duress like that in my body while you're trying to heal this pec. I wouldn't. I would want that body to have plenty of everything it needs, so it has enough to work with, nutrition, to be able to heal that thing. I wouldn't put any strain on it, stress on it, like asking it to drop body weight or any of that shit. I wouldn't do any of that. In fact, I'll tell you, when I have a big injury like that where I can't train for months and months, and like I said with this slap tear, I couldn't train for 7 months. I didn't train, almost 8. So, and I really didn't. I lost size, sure, but I didn't look like a guy who hadn't trained for 7 months. I looked like a guy that still had a lot of muscle compared to a normal guy. So, what I would suggest instead is feed your body. Feed your body and don't worry about it. If you're worried about losing size, then I would say you're primarily probably worried about strength loss. But if you're worried about size loss, then I definitely wouldn't cut. I would go ahead, I mean, don't go crazy with eating a lot of bad things, but I would want to keep my body weight up. It's one of the main things I would want to do. Keep my body weight up, and not so much a mind in light of composition. In other words, as muscle atrophies, if I lost a few pounds of muscle and I gained a couple pounds of body fat, I wouldn't deny myself that, because the body likes normalcy, and the body believes, it's at a setting where it believes you weigh X. You weigh whatever given amount you weigh. And if you've been maintaining that for some time, that's what your body considers normal status. That's what it weighs. So when you start to drop weight, if you come down and you lose, you atrophy, and you don't eat and feed yourself because you don't want to get fat, then end result, if you've lost 20 pounds or whatever, you've lost 30 pounds, God forbid that much, but if you've lost a whole bunch of weight, over the course of time, you're going to have to lay off before you can come back. When you come back, if your body has already accepted that that's the new norm, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to come back, whereas it's going to be so much easier to make that transition if your body weight doesn't fluctuate as much, but your composition simply changes some. I'm not saying get sloppy or get so fat that it's going to make it even more difficult, but keep the body weight up there. There's a lot to be said for maintaining that body weight. I don't, whatever anybody else tells you is what they tell you, but I'm telling you what I know from experience. If you keep that body weight up, then it's a lot easier to do a recomp when you come back, which is going to happen naturally to a degree anyway, because the body likes normalcy. The body still thinks you basically weigh the same all the way through. It's going to go ahead and do its thing with the recomp. It's not like it's a lot of hard work, as long as it doesn't get crazy out of hand, because the muscle that's atrophied, you're going to rebuild that as you start to train and regain strength. And your body knows it weighs this much, so it's going to cooperate with you. It's going to cooperate pretty easily. This is why guys will do something, even if they do a little cycle or something, they'll do something and they tell the world, oh, when you come off, you lose it all. No, you lose it all. I don't. We don't. You might. A lot of people do. And the reason they do is they don't maintain long enough, right? They'll gain 20 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever it is, over whatever course of time. And then they'll feel that they're stagnated. I haven't gained another pound. I've only gained like a half a pound or something. I'm stuck here. I haven't gained any weight for weeks now. Yeah, but have you lost any of that weight that you just gained? Or are you holding on to it and maintaining it? If you're maintaining it, you're still making progress, because the body has to relearn. The body has to reset itself and accept that it's permanent now. That's where that whole rebound effect comes from. If the body never believed, this is my permanent status, then there would be no rebound. You understand what I'm saying? Because the body would never care. The body knows what it weighs. You understand where I'm going with this? So my advice to you is just relax, take it easy, pursue another interest. It's simple as that, and it's a healthy thing to do. Yeah, you can plan for the day, you can think about it, you can focus on it and all that shit, but let that pec heal. Let it heal. And when you come back with it, come back gently. Come back gently. Do the things that you're told to do by your doctor. Do the things, the surgeon that operated on it and repaired it, you're obviously hoping that he knew what he was doing and he did a good job, right? Well, if he did a good job, then he knows what you're going to have to do to be able to secure that, so that you're not going to do it any damage, and you're going to come back from it, and it's going to operate and function the way it's supposed to. You don't want to re-injure it. So take your time, then bring it back slowly. I mean, persistently. All right, I've seen guys take forever to come back because they were scared. But so I know you're not going to be. You're young and you think you're bulletproof. Don't overdo it. Take it easy. Let your body heal. Let your body heal, man. Be good to your body. Has it been good to you? Be good to it. All right, take it easy on it. All right, that's about all I can say. And that's realistically, that's what I would do, especially now that I'm older and wiser. That's I think is the smartest approach. That's going to give you more longevity and a better quality of life as you age. And when you come through the other side, wherever that may be, if ever, you're still going to have, a fully functioning body to move about in. All right, that's it. Take care. Have an awesome night.